always had the ball in her hands. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. I was like, who the hell is this? She is nice. It was like, oh, she the best player in the country.
These WNBA players, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, who many are saying are the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA. Do you like that when you hear that?
I like it, and they are.
What if I told you that NBA legends are losing their minds over a rookie? Caitlin Clark isn't just good. She's got Kevin Garnett comparing her to Steph Curry. But here's the kicker. She's not just doing it in college or some random league. She's doing it in the WNBA. How is this possible? Let's break down why Clark has the greats scratching their heads. Legends start talking, basketball fans listen. And right now, these icons can't stop raving about Caitlin Clark. It's not just hype. These are some of the greatest players to ever step on the court, and they're stunned by what they're seeing. Let's start with Kevin Garnett. The big ticket isn't one to throw around comparisons lightly, but he's comparing Clark to none other than Steph Curry. Yeah, you heard that right. Garnett said, if you ain't in a Steph Curry shape, that's how she plays, bro. That's not just high praise, it's a whole new level of respect. What's got KG making this wild comparison? It's Clark's shooting ability and skill level. Like Curry, Clark's range seems to start the moment she crosses half court. She's got that same quick release, that same confidence to pull up from anywhere.
Hey, if you ain't in the Steph Curry shape, that's how she plays, bro. She gonna give you more than 10. She can shoot, and she got work, bro. Man, she can, right, she can wiggle. What was she, matter of fact, what's she playing with, a women's ball? Women's ball?
Nah, she playing with the NBA ball. She can get 10.
She can still get money in that ball.
And just like Curry changed the game in the NBA, Clark is rewriting the rules in women's basketball, but it's not just her shooting that's turning heads. Paul Pierce, another NBA legend, watched Clark drop 41 points against LSU and couldn't believe his eyes. He called it the greatest performance I've ever seen in the NCAA tournament, girl or boy.
This was the greatest performance I've ever seen in the NCAA tournament, girl or boy. I mean, the obvious answer is Caitlin Clark, but let me tell you something before I get to her. I was mesmerized by her. We saw a white girl in Iowa do it to a bunch of black girls. Well, of course. That made it like, oh, that gained my respect. She did it to some girls from LSU who we thought were some dogs.
Defending champs,
and put them on their knee and spanked them.
That's coming from a guy who's seen his fair share of March Madness magic. What makes Clark so special in these big moments? It's her ability to rise to the occasion. When the pressure's on, when the lights are brightest, that's when Clark shines. She's not just scoring, she's taken over games, making every possession count. Now, let's talk about Shaq. The Big Diesel isn't known for understatement, but even for him, this is big.
You are.
Yeah, but she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family. Yeah. Like the crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
Shaquille O'Neal straight up called Clark the best female collegiate player ever. That's not just hype, that's history. What's got Shaq so convinced? It's Clark's complete domination of the Big Ten. For 4 straight seasons, she led the conference in both scoring and assists. That's not just good, that's unprecedented. Clark isn't just beating defenders, she's beating record books. But wait, there's more. Kevin Durant, one of the most skilled scorers in NBA history, recognizes game when he sees it. KD called Clark the best player in the country. Not the best female player, the best player, period. That's the kind of respect Clark's game commands. So Clark's entered the WNBA with expectations higher than a skyscraper.
I was like, oh damn, I see it now. Like, you know, like when you walk in and you don't even know who anybody is, and they just be like, yo, that's the best player in the country right there. It's just like, yo, that shit hits you out of nowhere. Like, let me really focus in on her.
But how's she really doing? In the first half of the WNBA season as a rookie, Clark averaged 17 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. Not bad for a rookie, right? But if you're thinking those numbers don't quite match her college dominance, you're onto something. Here's the deal, the WNBA isn't college ball. It's a whole new game with tougher competition and physical play that'd make some NBA stars think twice. Clark's learning this firsthand and is changing how she plays. But don't think for a second that Clark's struggling. She's adapting, evolving her game to match the pro level. And the NBA legends, they're watching every move. Take Charles Barkley. The round mound of rebound isn't just impressed with Clark's stats. He's blown away by her professionalism. Barkley said, I mean, what she's done for the game the last couple years. I mean, she is a shining star, yet she just shows up and does her job.
I mean, what she's done for the game the last couple years, I mean, she is
a shining star. She doesn't say a word. Yeah, she's never said a word about anybody. She just shows up and does her job.
But it's not all smooth sailing. Barkley's also called out the petty nonsense Clark's facing on the court. He didn't expect her to encounter such rough play in the WNBA. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone agrees with Chuck. Reggie Miller, the sharpshooter himself, has a different take. He's not surprised by the challenges Clark's facing. Miller said, "First of all, what did you expect was going to happen to her? You're playing at the highest level. You're going to the pro ranks." Miller's point? This is the big leagues.
I saw the performance. Like I said, 41, almost triple-double, yeah. He was shooting, letting that ball fly. I watched a little bit, but she got it going in the second half, so I didn't watch that. I think it's more Steph Curry, man. It's a woman, Steph Curry.
Veterans aren't gonna roll out the red carpet for a rookie, no matter how much hype she's got. They're gonna test her, push her to her limits, and that's exactly what's happening. But there's another side to Clark's rapid rise. Gilbert Arenas, never one to hold back, dropped a truth bomb about the attention Clark's getting. He said, when someone gets too much power, too much money, it pisses people off naturally.
Right? We've played. We understand when someone gets too much power without earning it, it pisses people off naturally. Right? We've seen it with LeBron James. For example,
is Arenas right? Is there resentment brewing in the WNBA over Clark's stardom? It's a touchy subject, but it's part of the package when you're changing the game like Clark is. Speaking of changing the game, let's talk about LeBron James. The king himself is taking notice of Clark's impact on the WNBA. He's not just impressed by her play, he's amazed at how she's growing the league.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go, have fun, enjoy.
LeBron pointed out that the WNBA had chartered planes for the first time in league history, and he's giving Clark credit for that change. It's not just about comfort, it's about respect. Clark's presence is pushing the WNBA to new heights, both on and off the court. And it's not just travel arrangements. Clark's drawing crowds like never before. TV ratings are up, social media is buzzing. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Clark keep this up? The physical toll of the pro game is real. The mental pressure of being the face of a league is intense. Clark's not just playing basketball. She's carrying the hopes of a generation of female athletes. You might be thinking, that's a lot for one rookie to handle. And you'd be right, but that's what makes Clark's journey so compelling. She's not just facing these challenges, she's embracing them. You've heard about Caitlin Clark's skills on the court, but there's something else that's got basketball fans buzzing. It's a rivalry that's bringing new life to the WNBA, and it's drawing comparisons to one of the greatest showdowns in NBA history. We're talking about Clark versus Angel Reese. This matchup isn't just exciting, it's changing the game, and who better to weigh in on this than Magic Johnson himself? Magic said these WNBA players, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, are the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA. That's not just high praise. That's basketball royalty recognizing the birth of something special. Why is this rivalry such a big deal? It's not just about two talented players going head to head. It's about the story it's telling. Clark and Reese are bringing new energy to women's basketball. They're making people who've never watched a WNBA game tune in. They're creating moments that fans will be talking about for years. But here's where things get interesting. Clark's rise to fame isn't all smooth sailing. There's controversy brewing, and it's got basketball fans divided. Remember when we talked about Clark's impact on the game? Well, that impact is so big that people are questioning why she's not on the Olympic team. Paul Pierce didn't hold back. He said, you claim you want the women's game to grow, and then you keep the most popular girl in women's basketball off the team.
You claim you want the women's game to grow, and then you keep the most popular girl in women's basketball off the team. Sometimes you have to say, hey guys, this is bigger than the game, which it is. How do you grow internationally and domestically if you don't put her on the U.S. team? It just makes the most sense.
Pierce isn't alone in his thinking. A lot of fans are scratching their heads, wondering how you leave a player like Clark off the Olympic roster. It's not just about her skills, it's about what she brings to the game, the excitement, the crowds, the media attention. This debate isn't just about Clark, it's about the future of women's basketball. It's about how we measure talent, how we grow the game, and who gets to represent the country on the world stage. But there's another side to Clark that's got people talking. It's not her stats or her skills, it's her passion. Clark isn't just changing how the game is played, she's changing how it's felt. She's bringing raw emotion to every game. She's pumping her fist after big shots, yelling in celebration, showing her frustration when things don't go her way. For some fans, this is exactly what the sport needs. They love seeing a player who wears her heart on her sleeve. They see Clark's passion as a sign of how much she cares about the game. But not everyone's on board. Some critics say Clark's too emotional. They think she needs to tone it down to act more professional. It's the kind of criticism that female athletes have faced for years. This debate about Clark's playing style, it's not just about basketball. It's about expectations. It's about what we think athletes should look like, how they should act. Clark's challenging those expectations every time she steps on the court. So what does all this mean for Clark's future in the WNBA? It means she's not just a player to watch, she's a player who's changing the game.
Her range, her three-point shooting overall, her flair for testing her range every night and knowing that the other team's going to try to take it away. And she's fearless. She just adds another element of surprise that you can't really game plan for because it's so kind of just unseen.
Her rivalry with Reese is bringing new excitement to the league. Her exclusion from the Olympic team is sparking important conversations about talent and representation. And her emotional style of play is challenging how we think about athletes, especially female athletes. So what's got all these NBA legends buzzing about Caitlin Clark? It's simple. She's not just good, she's changing the game. Her scoring ability is off the charts, her court vision is next level, and her impact, it's bigger than basketball. Kevin Garnett comparing her to Steph Curry isn't just hype. It's a sign of what's coming. Clark's not just joining the WNBA, she's transforming it. More merch sales, bigger crowds, even chartered flights. That's the Clark effect. But here's the thing, this is just the beginning. Clark's rookie season is like the first chapter of an epic story. She's facing challenges, sure, but she's also showing flashes of brilliance that have NBA greats shaking their heads in disbelief. The question isn't if Clark will change women's basketball, it's how much, and that's what makes her journey so exciting to watch. Let us know in the comments below how much you think she will change the game, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the latest in women's basketball and beyond.